So, good afternoon. Second year Bcom Computer Applications Semester 4. Second year Bcom Computer Applications Semester 4. Web Technologies Unit 2. We already discussed with Unit 2 with some PPTs, that is style sheets, HTML, style sheets, CSS, like that. So, today we are discussing about by using some other PPTs. So, an overview of dynamic pages and cascading style sheet CSS, types and advantages of CSS, CSS based syntax and structure. All these things we are going to discuss today. So, this is our PPT, basics of web design. So, in this PPT we may learn about, describe the purpose of cascading style sheets or CSS. So, what is the purpose of using style sheets? These advantages of using style sheets. Configure colors on web pages with cascading style sheets. Configure inline style sheets. Configure embedded style sheets. Configure external style sheets. Configure web page areas with element name, class, ID, and the description selectors. And test your CSS for valid syntaxes. All these things we are going to discuss today. So, what is the overview? What is the overview of brief description about CSS or style sheets? So, style sheets are mainly, they are called as style sheets or CSS. Style sheets are mainly used for years in desktop publishing, applying typological styles and spacing to printed media. CSS means provides the functionality of style sheets and much more for web developers, a flexible class platform, standard based learning. Using style sheets. So, what are the advantages of CSS or style sheets or cascading style sheets? So, cascading style sheets are generally used at index pages, all the product pages, about pages, content pages. So, a single cascading style sheet file can control the color, typography, and layout of multiple web pages. Greater typography and page layout controls. Style is separate from structure. Styles can be stored in separate document and linked to a from the web page. Potentially smaller documents, easier site maintenance. So, what are the different types of cascading style sheets? So, inline style sheets. So, what are the different types of style sheets? Inline style sheets. Second one is embedded style sheets. Third one is external styles. Fourth one is imported styles. Fourth one is imported styles. So, description of the types of cascading styles. So, inline, what are inline styles or style sheets? Configured in the body of the web page. Generally, inline style sheets are used within the body tag of the HTML page. Use the style attribute of an HTML tag. So, inline styles are generally created with style tag, style/style tag. Apply only to the specific element. Apply only to the specific means generally inline styles are applicable to all the individual HTML tags. So, second type of tags are called as styles are called as embedded styles. So, what are the second type of styles? Style sheets are styles, embedded styles. So, what are embedded styles? Embedded styles are generally configured in the head section of a web page. Use the HTML style element, apply to the entire web page document. So, external styles. Third one is external styles, means configured in a separate text file with the .css file extension. The HTML link element in the head section of a web page associates it with the .css file, and imported styles. So fourth type of style sheets are called as imported styles, means similar to external styles. We will concentrate on the other three types of the styles. So these are the different types of style sheets, or different types of cascading style sheets. So next, so what is cascade means? So this is the default working of the style sheets. So HTML, by using individual HTML tags, we may write in individual in the HTML tags we may write inline styles. Generally, inline styles are embedded in HTML files. So browser defaults under that external style sheets. After that, external embedded styles are used. After that, inline styles are used. After that, we may use HTML, individual HTML tags. So CSS syntax, what is the syntax of CSS files? So style sheets are composed of rules that describe the styling to be applied. So generally style sheets are composed of rules that describe the styling to be applied, and each rule contains a selector and a descriptor. Each rule contains a selector and a descriptor. So what are selectors, what are selector, and what is descriptors or declarations? So for example, simple example, body tag. So example is body, example here is body within brackets color :blue. This is the simple example for a style sheet or a CSS syntax. So syntax is body within brackets color :blue. So here body is the selector. Body is the selector, means are part of the HTML tag. Here body is the selector, it is called as a selector or a part of a HTML tag. Next is color. What is a color? Color is the declaration property of the HTML page. Next is color. So what is the color? Color is the property, a single property of HTML page : after that some value. What is the value? Blue. What is the value? Blue. Blue is the declarative value, or color is the declaration property, and body is the selector. So this is the syntax of a CSS or a style sheet or cascading style sheet. So samples, CSS syntax samples. So here in this slide we may explain about some pages taking some examples. Configure a web page to display blue text and yellow background. So what is the example? Body bracket open color :blue semicolon background color :yellow. So here this is used for to set the text color as blue and background color as yellow. This could also be written using hexadecimal color values. So instead of using color codes, we may use instead of color names, we may also use color codes also. Body bracket open color some #0000FF, like that. So second, CSS style syntax. CSS syntax for color values. So the different codes are used for different values. All these are examples. So inline CSS with the syntax attribute. So inline, what are inline CSS or inline style sheets? Inline CSS or style sheet configured in the body of the web page. Generally, the body of the web page may contain inline CSS or style sheets are generally configured and used in the body of the web page. Use the style attribute of an HTML tag. So to use inline CSS, to use inline CSS, we may use some tag called style. So to use inline CSS or inline style sheets, we may use style tags. Apply only to the specific elements. So inline tags are generally applicable to some specific tags only. the style attribute. So value one or more style declaration property and value pair. So generally the style attribute of a particular HTML tags are used. So style attribute or style/style comments are used. So example is, what are the examples? Examples are like h1 style is equals to within quotes color colon so /h1. So generally inline style sheets are generally used inside a HTML tag or attribute. So inline style sheets are generally used with all the HTML tags, and they can be embedded within a HTML tag. So heading text is now red. So another example is h1 style is equals to the quotes color, like that. So this is another example for inline style sheets. Configure embedded CSS with the style element. So how to configure uh, style sheets with style attribute or style command? So generally to configure more lines of code with style sheets or CSS elements, we may use style/style. We may use style/style comments. So configured in the head section of a web page, use the HTML style element, use the HTML style element and apply to the entire web page. Generally the style tag is used to apply to all the elements of HTML page. So use the HTML style element, apply to the entire web page document. Style declarations. So style declarations are contained between the opening and closing of style tags. So to configure embedded CSS, we may use style tag. The syntax is style/style. The optional type attribute indicates the mind of the. So this is the simple example of using styles. This is the simple example of using styles in a HTML code. So style. So syntax is style, some body, PG color, like that, and /style. So CSS embedded styles. So this is the another example. External style sheets. So third type of style sheets are called as external style sheets. So what are external style sheets? CSS style rules are contained in a text file separate from the HTML document. So generally in external style sheets, CSS style rules are separated, or they are generally stored in a separate file with .css extension. The external style sheet text file contains an extension of .css. So generally the external style sheets have an extension .css, contains only style rules and does not contain any HTML tag. So generally in external style sheets we may use only CSS codes, and they don't have any HTML tags used. Next is external style sheets 2. External style sheets 2. External style sheet 2 means multiple web pages can associate with the same external style sheet. For example, site.css. So multiple web pages can associate with the multiple web pages, means more than one page can associate with the same external style sheet file. So simple example is site.css. So body, background color, some colon, some code, semicolon, color, code, colon, some code, bracket close, h2 bracket open, color, some code. So generally these type of style sheets, external style sheets are applied to index files, some clients sheets, about, etc. So the link So the link element. So how to use external style sheets, or how to use external style sheet command. So the link element. So the link tag is generally used. Link tag is generally used to connect to a external style sheet. So a self-contained tag and placed in the header section. So generally the link tag is a self-contained tag. It is placed in the header section. Purpose is associates the external style sheet file with the web page. So the link tag is mainly used to link or connect an external style sheet to a current web page. So example syntax is link rel is equals to within quotes style sheet, link rel is equals to within quotes style sheet space href is equals to colors.css. So this is the syntax. Next, using an external style sheet. So how to use an external style sheet? External style sheet, for example, if you want to use external style sheet color.css. So the syntax is body within brackets background color colon hash 0000ff, like that. To associate with the external style sheet called color.css, place the following code in the head section or header section. So link rel is equals to within quotes style sheet space href is equals to color.css. So CSS selectors. So what are CSS or cascading style sheet selectors? So common types of selectors. So in the CSS commands, there are two types of parameters, or two types of terms are used: selectors and values. So CSS selectors, common types of selectors are HTML element name selector, class selectors, ID selectors, and descendant selectors. So what is a selector? So generally CSS selector is nothing but, it is also called as nothing but HTML element name selector. HTML elements, all the HTML elements, all the HTML elements are also called as selectors, HTML selectors. And so we may use we may also call as, for example, p tag. P means paragraph tag, body tag, all are HTML selectors. So using CSS with the class, using CSS, so using CSS with the class, for example, class selector, apply a CSS rule to one or more elements on a web page, does not associate with the style. So configure with the dot class name. All these things are not necessary. So what is the summary? What is the summary of this PPT? What is the main summary of this PPT? So this chapter introduced you to cascading style sheet rules associated with color on web pages. So this chapter introduced you cascading style sheets or CSS rules associated with colors on the web pages. So how to use colors, different colors, foreground and background colors with CSS rules. And second one is you configured inline styles, embedded styles, and external style sheets. So how to use the inline style sheets, embedded style sheets, and external style sheets with examples. Next, you applied CSS style tools to HTML class and ID selectors. So applying of CSS style tools to HTML classes, IDs, etc. You are able to submit CSS. So these are the main points or main summary we covered in this PPT.